Have you ever watched someone who makes a decent salary for the US or for a European city live paycheck to paycheck and thought they're doing everything right except they're still not getting ahead? That uncomfortable thought is the beginning of a very common observation. Wealth scarcity among otherwise capable earners isn't usually about how much they make, it's about how they spend time thinking about money every single day. Imagine Leo, 29, living in a mid-sized U.S. city. He earns $70,000 a year pre-tax. After federal and state taxes and FICA, his take-home pay is roughly $4,100 a month. He rents a nice one-bedroom for $1,400, has a car payment of $350, minimum credit card and personal loan payments of $200, and pays $250 a month toward student loans. He eats out and socializes, call it $400, and spends $150 on streaming, apps, and small conveniences. Utilities, insurance, and incidentals add another $250. That leaves Leo about $300 a month to save or invest. Now picture Anna, 31, living in a medium-cost European capital. She earns €50,000 a year gross. After taxes and social contributions, her net monthly pay is around €2,500. Her mortgage shares, small one-bed, cost €900 a month. Transport and car-related costs €200, minimum credit and personal loan payments €180, groceries and cafes €350, subscriptions and extras €120, utilities and insurance €200. She's left with roughly €550 to save. Both Leo and Anna are doing fine by common measures: solid salaries, reasonable housing, normal social lives. Yet after a few years, neither has built significant wealth. They wonder where the money went. They don't feel poor, they feel normal, and that's the point. What's the hidden mistake? It's not one headline expense, it's a mode of living that treats money like a flow to be adjusted around lifestyle, rather than a tool that needs deliberate allocation. In plain terms, they anchor lifestyles to income increases instead of anchoring savings and investments first. Let me show the math using Leo's case, keeping it simple. Take home $4,100 a month. Essentials and commitments: rent $1,400, plus car payment $350, plus student loans $250, plus utilities and insurance $250, $2,250. Lifestyle and discretionary: eating out $400, plus subscriptions $150, plus incidentals $250, plus credit card minimums $200, $1,000. Resulting savings: $4,100 minus $2,250 plus $1,000 equals $850? Wait, in the earlier breakdown we had $300 left. That mismatch illustrates the first subtle issue: mental accounting. People mislabel what's essential. If Leo classifies much of the $1,000 as non-negotiable lifestyle because it's habitual — weekend brunches, streaming, frequent ride shares — those costs act like fixed obligations. Recalculate, assuming some of those habit costs become fixed in mindset. Treat $700 of that $1,000 as non-negotiable household lifestyle. Then savings drop to $4,100 minus $2,250 plus $1,000 equals $850. But only $150 is free discretionary that actually goes into savings, effectively $150 a month, not $850. Now project that over time. If Leo saves $150 a month and invests with a 6% annual return compounded monthly, in 30 years he'll have about $144,000. If instead he saves $850 a month, that becomes roughly $816,000. Same income, very different result, simply because of how he treated small habitual expenditures and how he mentally prioritized savings. That's the practical arithmetic. The psychological mechanism is just as important. Why do people fall into this trap? Because of anchoring and lifestyle inflation. When income rises, many update lifestyle anchors first. Bigger apartment, newer car, more dining out. Those anchors become the new normal that's hard to reverse. Present bias. Immediate pleasures carry more weight than distant goals. Paying for a nicer latte today feels more real than a hypothetical portfolio balance decades away. Mental accounting, people separate money into buckets in ways that make spending on lifestyle feel harmless even when it floods the long-term bucket, savings. Social comparison, if peers are spending similarly, doing the same becomes a social default, not a conscious choice. If ignored, the long-term impact compounds in two ways: lost compound gains and a higher baseline of recurring costs that's hard to cut back. Over 20 to 30 years, the difference between habitual small overspending and disciplined saving grows from thousands into hundreds of thousands. And crucially, the problem isn't solved by a single raise, because higher income often just pushes the lifestyle anchor up too. So how do people who accumulate wealth think differently? Not dramatically, just differently in one consistent habit. They treat savings and investing as the first fixed obligation, not what's left over. Here's the shifted perspective in narrative form. Imagine Sarah, who earns roughly the same as Leo. Day one after her paycheck hits, she moves 20% into investments automatically. She budgets the rest. Because it's automatic, she never decides to spend that money. When her salary rises, the investment percentage stays the same or increases. Over a decade, compounding and consistent contributions make a bigger difference than chasing extra side income or reacting to market fads. Note the mindset, not the trick. What matters is viewing savings as non-negotiable, setting defaults that don't require daily willpower, and consciously resisting the social pressure to treat income increases as permission to inflate lifestyle immediately. What this doesn't mean is austere deprivation, extreme penny pinching, or shaming people for enjoying life. The message is clarity. If you want optionality, early retirement, financial buffers, or an ability to change careers, you owe yourself the cognitive discipline of making savings the first choice, not the last resort. Final thought: the daily mistake isn't a single bad purchase. It's living as if your future self will be fine because your present lifestyle feels justified. That's a powerful psychological trap because it feels normal and sensible in the moment. If this helped you see one small, repeatable difference that changes long-term arithmetic, consider subscribing for more calm, reasoned takes.